Hi, good day. I am Ray Vincent and Magto. This is the case of Fidela del Castillo VDA. Domestica, petitioner, versus spouses Bernardino Naguiat and Maria Paulina Girona Nagat. Respondents under GR number 137909 dated December 11, 2003. Pursuant to their agreement, respondent Bernardino Nagat gave a down payment of 2,000 pesos. He made another partial payment of 1,000 pesos on the 7th of February 1980. He failed to make any payments thereafter. Eulalio Mystica died sometime in October 1986. Respondent Bernardino Nagat alleged that sometime in October 1986, during the wake of the late Eulalio Mystica, he offered to pay the remaining balance to petitioner but the latter refused. On the 4th of December 1991, petitioner filed a complaint for rescission alleging inter alia that the failure and refusal of respondents to pay the balance of the purchase price constitutes a violation of the contract which entitles her to rescind the same, that respondents have been in possession of the subject portion and they should be ordered to vacate and surrender possession of the same to petitioner. The transaction between Eulalio Mystica and respondents, as evidenced by the Kasulatan, was clearly a contract of sale. A deed of sale is considered absolute in nature when there is neither a stipulation in the deed that title to the property sold is reserved to the seller until the full payment of the price, nor a stipulation giving the vendor the right to unilaterally resolve the contract the moment the buyer fails to pay within a fixed period. In a contract of sale, the remedy of an unpaid seller is either specific performance or rescission. Under Article 1191 of the Civil Code, the right to rescind an obligation is predicated on the violation of the reciprocity between parties, brought about by a breach of faith by one of them. Rescission, however, is allowed only where the breach is substantial and fundamental to the fulfillment of the obligation. In the present case, the failure of respondents to pay the balance of the purchase price within 10 years from the execution of the deed did not amount to a substantial breach. In the Kasulatan, it was stipulated that payment could be made even after 10 years from the execution of the contract, provided the vendee paid 12% interest. The stipulations of the contract constitute the law between the parties. Thus, courts have no alternative but to enforce them as agreed upon and written. Moreover, it is undisputed that during the 10-year period, petitioner and her deceased husband never made any demand for the balance of the purchase price. Petitioner even refused the payment tendered by respondents during her husband's funeral, thus showing that she was not exactly blameless for the lapse of the 10-year period. Had she accepted the tender, payment would have been made well within the agreed period. The failure to pay in full the purchase price stipulated in a deed of sale does not ipso facto grant the seller the right to rescind the agreement. Unless otherwise stipulated by the parties, rescission is allowed only when the breach of the contract is substantial and fundamental to the fulfillment of.
Created using Powtoon.